And we are live. Hey guys, Scotch for Dummies. We're not doing a show tonight, so I thought, well, I'll get a little early start here. I meant to go on a little earlier, but I was hanging out with the wife, watching some TV and stuff, and then I thought, well, I also wanted to make sure no one was going to be going live at the same time I was, and I thought, I'll just see, and I didn't see anybody go live, so I figured, well, what's a better time than now? Thanks so much for stopping by that fast. Hey, Tamar, good to see you. And a couple others have already joined. Gonna take a look at a couple new ones tonight. I'm excited. A new one I haven't tried before. Two actually I have not tried before. Um, I have had the Caol Ila 12 peated, and it's a good dram. It's on more of a smoky end than a peat end. It's still really good, pleasant. And I saw this guy for surprisingly only like 117. And for a 17-year-old whiskey, I thought, it's kind of hard to say no to that. It's a 17-year, it's unpeated though. Natural cask strength is bottled in 2015, 55.9 on the ABV. We're also going to look afterward at a special sample from Mr. Prene, I believe this was from, yes. This is the Springbank 24 Single Sherry Cask. That is going to be a nice treat to end with. Already have them poured, already been letting them sit out for a bit. Typically you want to go by minutes on your year, 17, 24. So I've been letting them sit out for about 15, 20 minutes or so. And looking forward to that. We'll get into the notes on the Springbank afterward, but let's start with the Caol Ila 17. What you guys drinking tonight? Hey, Mom. I see my own mother actually has joined the chat. Hope everything's going okay. Hey, Whiskey Throttle. I'm not drinking from the bottle tonight, I don't think, at least. Rabbit Red, good to see you. I'm really glad you got your hands on the Our Big Grooves. Congratulations on the committee release as well. I'm glad my advice panned out for you to get in Vienna. And I'm sure going from your notes, you saw my notes. We're both big fans of it. Hey, Dave, that's my stepdad. Hey, Dave, good to see you too. What you guys drinking? Let me know. If you've ever had the Caol Ila 17 unpeated, let me know as well. It does not usually get great reviews, I've noticed. The average is around 3 out of 5 stars. I've seen maybe 4 on the higher end. Let's say 4, actually. 4 out of 5 is the average. This is an annual special release from Diageo, and it looks like, looking over some notes over here, it has grown to 17 years of age, and the strength is slightly diminished to 55.9 ABV. The vast majority of whiskeys coming from the Caol Ila distillery are a medium peated variety that you would see with the 12, but this is definitely an unpeated version. So I'm interested to see how good this is going to be. I'm hoping it's not as empty as I think it might be. As I do like the smoke on a Caol Ila. That's like their trademark. That's what stands out. It makes it also a great blend. So we'll have to see how this goes with this deal. Other than that, let's go in for a little nose. Definitely get more of the, I'd say more of a, say, barley, but some sort of, maybe it's the maltiness I'm getting. I'm not sure what kind of cask, ex-bourbon cask, so like a wood, maltiness. Get some slight sweetness, very, very subtle sweetness in the nose. If there's any fruit at all, maybe some lemon, very light lemongrass. Some like herbal qualities, very light though. More in the floral, and some honeysuckle in there too. It's this is neat. Its viscosity is pretty good. It's sitting up top. It's got a couple legs that come down, but not too fast. But with that high ABV, I'm not really surprised. Seems it's going to be like a medium mouth coat. I have to take a guess. There's some, I think, ginger in there as well. But everything's kind of subtle. It's in the background. Nothing jumps out. There's definitely no peat detected. Maybe a slight smokiness, but very, very, very low key. Of course, your typical vanilla flavors in there as well. Tamar, I think you've had a Caol Ila 17 unpeated before. Oh, you said I've had the 12, 15, and 18 of the unpeated style, but not the 17 year yet. Were you a fan of it? Let me know in the chat. I'll have to. Rabbit asks, does Diageo release a distiller's edition of Caol Ila? Yes, they do, and it's fantastic from what Malted in Montreal, Swami. Swami states that it's one of his favorites. So I have not seen it available here in the States. I'm sure it's probably easily available on if you're able to order it. They also have a travel retail. I believe it's travel retail. Don't quote me on it, but I know they have a special a non-age statement called Moch, M-O-C-H. It's Dawn in Gaelic, and it has its own kind of properties. This is its own offering, and that supposedly is out there as well. I've never seen it, but it's probably something you can easily order online, I'd say. Mom says she got me a special Easter bonnet. Oh gosh. Is there whiskey in the bonnet, perhaps? That could be excellent. Revis says, I got my eyes open for that. I really like the Talisker. Yeah, Talisker's Distiller's Edition is fantastic. That's awesome. Caol Ila Distiller's Edition, I'm sure is it might not be as good as that one, but I'm sure it's a decent sub. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Tom says he has the Distiller's Edition, but it's quite old. Let me check the year. Yeah, it's a bourbon trill cap. Oh, okay, gotcha. That's cool. What are you laughing about, Throttle? Oh, 2011 is the year he got for the distillers. That's pretty good. That's I'm not too surprised. I think the last Talisker's distillers edition I found was a 2012 or a 20. It's at least 2016, if not older. So that is older, though. I mean, that's once you get past like 2015, it's tough to find those. So I assume that you haven't popped it open there yet, Tom. Let's go in for a taste on this neat. Ooh. Hello. I can definitely taste the 55.9 on that. Pleasant, but very hot. Ooh. There is the first note I get, other than some subtle smoke, is some really salty olives. Like a real salty olive with the big fat pimentos, with those big giant olives. Not bad, but not what I was expecting. Definitely a salty brininess going on, maritime notes. It's so hot though, it's hard to really detect much. So we're gonna have a spoon here, and we're gonna get some water. I thought I had some here already, but I'm sorry. Let me go get some real fast. Be right back, and we are back. At least I had it poured. Thanks so much, Mom and Dave, for the water. I've had it washed. I'm not quite sure where it. Oh, it's over here. So I do have it. It's on the shelf, looking very pretty. I will use that, and I got the clean glasses over there as well. Very nice gift. Thank you so much, guys. Let's put a couple drops. Let's see how that goes. Because 55.9 is definitely has a lot of room for some water. Even if it was a 51, I would add a little bit, maybe a couple of drops to it. Try to get it down to about 48 if I could. But we'll see how this. We'll start with a couple, and if we need more, we'll add more. But don't add too much because you don't want to kill it. That's for sure. Hmm. Getting more of hay, like a farm side, outside barn kind of. Not as deep as a Springbank dunnage warehouse, but it's getting around that area. Definitely more maritime though in its notes. Seashells and a lot of bright floral notes too. Nothing like a lilac or lavender or anything like that. Not jasmine. More like honeysuckle, like really like light, picturing like big yellow flowers. Hmm. This is, I believe, doesn't say anything about color. I believe it's natural though. It's kind of a goldish color. Let's go for the white balance here. 1 second. It's kind of a, it's kind of a nice golden rod color, I'd call it. And for 17 years, it does not look out of place, I would say. I would also be surprised if it's chill filtered, but I don't believe they state on the bottle. Let's take a quick look. Most unusual unpeated Isla single malt, this limited edition single cask strength. This is still 1997, has been aged in ex-bourbon American oak barrels, as clean and fresh as the pale sky that follows clearing rain. Its intense flavors dance boldly across the tongue like flecks of foam over wind-lashed waves. There's a bittersweet warmth in its fruity, rounded, and smooth drinking malt, which has an appetizing, salty edge. Yeah, I could see where they're going with that, but I don't see anything about chill filtering. But it's such a high ABV. I'm trying to remember if they would. I guess the lower ones they don't bother with. The higher ones they do, but I don't know. Not stated, but I don't think Diageo does a lot of the chill filtering on their stuff, but I'm not gonna say yes or no on that. Let's go for another taste. Nose hasn't really changed. There's not really a whole lot going on, and that's the what's scaring me. Is let's go for another palate. Looks like Tom opened it as soon as he got home. Wow. Okay, so it is open. Oh, Rabbit Red just found the Caol Ila Distillers Edition in DC for $88. That's not a bad price, I would say. That's not bad. We're in. If you don't, well, you don't have to tell me. But if they have more than one, let me know where'd you got it from, so I can get me one too. Rabbit, Orioles fan or Nats fan? Actually, both. I'm more of an Orioles fan actually than a Nats fan. My Orioles hat I wore so much that it's actually had to be retired. So this is my hat for now. I do have some Orioles gear upstairs and like an old T-shirt. That's I've got a newer one. Thankfully, I haven't worn it this year yet, but my old one needs to be retired. It's had a lot of use. Also like the Cubs, originally from Louisville, and the only team we really got to watch a lot of was the Cubs because they're in Chicago, which is kind of close. Cincinnati never really was a big team that I remember. It was always the Cubs in the 80s pretty much. Let's see. Santa Cruz. Oh, thanks so much, Santa Cruz, for stopping by. And they're like messing with my mom, it looks like. Back to the Distillers Edition thread for a sec, and y'all have opinions in the Lagavulin version. Oh, it's excellent. Like the first one I had was Lagavulin 16, and it's I would consider if I'm going to introduce someone to peated Scotch, that's one of the ones I actually would probably go with. Other than also a Caol Ila 12. The Ardbeg 10 and the Lefroy 10 are a little too brutal for people. Lagavulin 16, Caol Ila 12. Bunnahabhain 12 isn't much peat at all. It's only like 3 parts per million, so that's kind of cheating. Trying to think of anything else that's Isla that's got enough peat. Let me think. Oh, Kilhoman, the Moncure Bay would be a good starting point. As far as the distiller's edition for Lagavulin, it's excellent because not only do you have that Lagavulin 16 great earthy peat goodness, you marry that with some sherry cask, and if you like sherries like I do, you're gonna love the distiller's edition. It's a well-rounded, balanced but sweet dram. Now, if you're not a fan of the Oloroso or the PX cast kind of stuff, you're not going to like it. If you're more of a peat purist, like an Octomore fan, someone that does not like sherry mixing with their peat, I'd say you're not going to like it as much. But, if you're more toward that, I would send you to a Lafroy Lore, which is excellent. It's got a little bit of sherry, but it's mostly still got that peaty edge to it. Mom says when you got that Scottish glass eyedropper delivered to your house next week, if you don't get rid of that damn plastic spoon, I'm just saying. Well, here's the deal on the plastic thing. I don't use metal because I've heard, and I'm just going by what I learn and what I hear people that do reviews, they say don't use metal because it can alter the taste. So I use plastic, but I know it's not the best look. But yes, I will get that dropper out and take care of that ASAP. The wheels are already coming off. All right. Rabbit says they have the Distiller's Edition at Imperial Wine and Spirits. Okay, I've heard of it, never been there. I have to trick them out. I wonder, do you know if it's off a metro stop? If it is, that makes it even easier. If it's not, it's going to be a pain because I try to go to what was it, Schneider's, I think, up in off M Street in Georgetown. I did a drive-by and it was so crazy on the drive in the parking. I just could not even find a place. I just went home. I was like, this is not going to work. So actually, I went to my favorite place in Maryland. It's got great parking. But if I found a place in DC, that'd be pretty cool. That is why I ordered the hand-blown glass dropper for your little video show. Thanks. I brought the Octomore tonight. 8.3. Oh, okay. That's a nice bottle, I bet. Now, Tom, is the Octomore 8.3, does that have a cask like the 7.3? I'm not a fan of because it's got that Ribera del Duero cask finish. What cask finish do they use for that 8.3? I'm very curious on what they use, the Shiraz or some sort of deal. Let's take a sip on this and see if we get anything better from the palate with some water on it. Wow. Still have that olive. I'm looking for some sweetness, and I'm not really getting a lot other than some ginger. It's ginger, but it's not. This might be subtly candied, but it's not candied enough. Very salty, very dry. The finish is kind of chalky. It has a real nice beachiness to it. I mean, but I tell you what, normally I would say not my cup of tea, but I see potential for what you can do with a bottle like this. And I'll tell you what it is. The first thing this would go well, extremely well with is a lot of different food. With the dry saltiness, I could definitely see eating a lot of Asian food with this and it going extremely well, like a Kirin Ichiban beer, Asahi, those beers, Sapporo, those are all real dry. And if you're not in the mood for a beer and you want some salty, nice glass of whiskey that's not going to kill your palate, this actually would go really well with it. And of course, it's got a nice amount of alcohol too. The smoke is there. It's so subtle, though. It's like there's definitely no peat. So I believe them when they say it's impeded, but I'm not sure where the smokiness is coming from. There's a little bit. Not enough, though. Another thing, now preface this, though. This guy I could see going extremely well with a, like as in a blend with something else. If you're in the mood to try some blends out, I would not use this 17-year-old. It's almost like sacrilegious. I would go with the 15 unpeated. I'm not sure the difference of taste though. If I try the 15 unpeated and it's really similar, it's not better than this, then I would definitely use it with a blend with. I've heard people saying they've made like a Port Ellen almost with like if you take 60, 70% of this, like 10 or 20 of monkey shoulder and 10 or 20 of Lefroy Triplewood. It sounds bizarre, but some people get these really odd concoctions that they come up with and say that try it, you'll be surprised, or some sort of other poor man's version of a 500 plus $1,000 bottle. It can happen. Is it as good? Most likely not. But is it close? I've seen people use this kind of stuff and make a Dalmore King Alexander type of whiskey, or something that caliber. And if you can get away with it, for less, this is 117. Not cheap by any means, but not crazy expensive. But I would hate to mix it. The funny thing is the 15-year-old unpeated at the same place was 115, so it was like 117, 115. That's why I went with the 17-year. It was like it's a no-brainer. I get 2 years for $2. The 15 though might be a better deal. I might try it, but I think before I would buy it, I'm gonna have a couple things that I might want to try blending to see what I get out of it. Dave just had some Kiranichi blend here. Yeah, it's a good one. I like it. If I'm gonna move for a sushi dry, salty dry, goody goodness, not bad. Just not the flavor. As far as I was looking for a little more sweetness. I was looking for a little more smoke. I was looking for a little more something. I mean, I got a lot of salt. I got a lot of olive, and I got a lot of like chalky, and I got honey, some floral notes, but nothing really. Nothing I can stick my teeth into, unfortunately. Like if you said, Jason, Telex, you can have this or a Glen Scotia 15. I'm going to jump all over the Glen Scotia 15. Sorry, it's a done deal. It's a 2 years younger, but a much better offering. Now, if this was peated, I think I might go for this. See, that's where the funny thing is. I'm not sure why they decided to do an unpeated style, maybe just to show what it is underneath the covers. But if it's not that appealing, then I'm kind of thinking, what's the point, But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think if you've had similar experiences with the unpeated Caol Ilas. Tom says I was wrong. This Uber Provenance spirit was matured in 56% first fill bourbon cask. The remaining ex-Polignac, Vento, Rhone, and Burgundy cask. That sounds complex as hell. I didn't see the first part. Oh, that's the. I'm assuming that's the 7 point. I'm sorry, the 8.3. Wow. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different casks. I love a Burgundy cask whiskey. Never tried the. I guess you pronounce it Polignac, Vento, and Rhone. I've heard of Rhone, but never tried it. So I'm curious to see what it tastes like. What do you think, Tom, of that one? Tom asks, have you had the 2013 Unpeated Malt by Billy Sitchel's Reserve? I've seen that recently. I have not tried it. What do you think about that one, Tom, the Billy Sitchel's Reserve, just out of curiosity? Dave asks, do you think the unplated flavor profile changes your expectation for smoke? Yeah, I definitely would like it to have a lot more smoke like the 12 does. Don't really need the peat per se, because I mean peat and smoke are different things. The smokiness would be welcomed if it was a little more profound in it, but I guess it's hard to get that smokiness without at least a little bit more peat in it. It doesn't have to have all that earthiness though for me to be happy. Like a Lefroy, I would not consider an earthy dram like a Lagavulin, but or a Caol Ila, but this is a very, very florally heavy floral dram. I mean it's pleasant on the nose. Probably the best thing about it is the nose, but I'm just not into the floral drams that much. Like some people love the Kilholman 100% Isla. If you like that, you'll love this. It's a lot like that. It's got a lot of floral notes going on, a lot of chewiness, but it's just a little too. A little too dependent on the salty honey vanilla notes to me on the palate, because that's really all that, I mean, the olive, honey, salty, dry, vanilla notes. That's really all I'm getting from this. I mean, I could be missing. Let me see, just out of curiosity, just for giggles. Let's see what some other people got from the same type of thing. Just out of one of my favorite reviewers in here. Let's see, Scotching Hard. He's on distiller.com, where I get a lot of my notes from. A really good site if you like text reviews. Check it out. He says that he also got it for 120. It's the same bottle exactly. It smells like it's going to rock your world. Citrus and clay. Despite the claim to be unpeated, this is slightly peated. Well, that's what I got, too, a little smoke in there. It's not burdened by smoke, but you get a wonderful citrusy range that Caol Ila is known for in 4K resolution. Lemon, lime, blood oranges, ruby grapefruit. He got a lot of tropical fruits, papaya, things like that. I got the lemon, maybe a little bit of lime and grapefruit, but not the blood oranges, not the tropical notes he got off the nose or the palate. He said it did take him a long time to get something out of it. It took him a lot of time. After a full half hour, it revealed some soft, sweet grapefruit and floral flavors on the arrival, but on the back end, there's always some strange feeling that the peaty soul has been removed from the dram. It's almost creepy, and I'm down. I'm completely down with that. So we had a very similar experience. He also notes there's some alkaline in there. He got some mineral notes. Thankfully, I didn't get it, but his explanation of the finish was it's almost like a portrait with the eyes removed. It is pretty empty. He compared it to tonic water, so that kind of tells you that it's not the best thing. Standalone, this is a letdown. I'm not surprised. I know why I bought this bottle. It is for blending experiments. Well, that's what I just said. That's funny. I didn't even read this, but he actually also says it's for blending experiments. I cannot afford Port Ellen. That very thought is why I think John Glasser really created a compass box. This is a perfect backbone. So he actually has a recipe in here for Port Ellen. He says to take 40% Caol Ila, 40% Lagavulin 12, and 20% Longmore 16 for the poor man's Port Ellen. That is funny. He tried for the Port Ellen, but it actually, he says, approximates a Flaming Heart compass box. That's a bit different. Interesting. He's got some recipes in here. I haven't seen these. I do remember seeing this one triple wood one he's got in here though, but very similar experience. So at least I know I'm not far off. He gave it looks like about he has 100 point score. He says 82 out of 100. He put 3 out of 5 stars, and it's such. I don't want to say it's a letdown, and I do agree it's more for blending, but I might not go as far as a 3. I might give it a 2.75. I hate to say it's a letdown. The nose is fantastic. I mean, I can get the longer it sits, you do get more citrus out of the nose, but it's just nothing on the palate or the finish that is equivalent to that. So, Hey, Richie Z, thanks for stopping by. Whiskey Thorl's asking who am I referencing. It's Scotching Hard off of distiller.com. If you go to distiller.com, they have lots of reviews on different whiskeys that are typed out. And Scotching Hard is a reviewer like myself. I go by Telex on there. I got a friend named Leo Evolved who does a lot of really great reviews. PB Michigan Wolverine is Premier. He's a good friend of mine. Also a great reviewer. Generously Paul is on there, another great reviewer. And Scott_E. Scott is another. He's in my Scotch group that we do tastings with. So those 5 guys. This guy here that wrote this particular article, Scotching Hard, I don't know him, but I have seen some of his reviews before, and they've been pretty good. So I trust his review. He did it about 5 months ago, it looks like. So it's pretty recent too. And I had a similar experience. And Tom Dobbs just said it's great at my website. Yeah, and it's free. You can't go wrong with it. And the video is great for this kind of thing. Hanging out with your buddies, having a dram, shooting chewing the cut and real time interaction. But if you're in the mood to sit down and look at a review and get really, some of these guys are really great about picking out some really intense notes. The typed word is not a dead thing. Yeah, what you drinking there, Richie? Out of curiosity. Not bad. If you're a fan of the 100% Isla by Kilhoman, you will love this. If not, you will not be into it. Like I'm kind of indifferent and not pissed off that I bought it though. I think it's going to be like you said. I think it's going to go well in some sort of experimental blend things that I might do on my own just to see what I could see this working extremely well with a PX cask of some sort, an Oloroso cask. Any really like interesting cask finish that will work well with salty, briny, dryness with some citrus flavor in it. I would not put this with a pheno sherry. It's going to be ultra super crazy dry, and that's going to turn you off. But if you have a little something else that's got some sweetness in it, that's what it's missing, is some really nice sweetness, and maybe even some smoke on the bottom. Like I would love to mix this with some Ardbeg Ugadal for the smoky peatiness, and maybe some Lefroy PX cask for some sweetness, and just see what happens with it. I don't have either one right now, so I can't do it. But it's the thought that counts. So put it in a Pappy Van Winkle cask. I don't know about that. That's a whole nother thing. That is a whole nother deal there. Let's go to the next round here. Not bad. Just kind of, let's go to the star of the show, though. This is going to be excellent. Let's have a little cleanse. Now, this is neat. And let me pull up my notes on this puppy. This is a great sample from Prene, PB Michigan Wolverine off the distiller. The Springbank 1992 24-year. It's even got a numbered cask of 212214. It's an independent bottling by the Malt Man. And middle side blending from the Notes and Distiller. The Malt Man line, a single cask, single malt series distilled in July of 1992, is matured in a sherry cask with that same number and bottled in April of 2017 at 47.1% ABV. I don't think he had that written down here, so that's good to know. 47.1, that's perfect. Non-chill filtered, no color added, and a Whiskey Foundation exclusive. So it's a sherry cask. It's got a great, great color. Let's get some white balance out here so you can see. And it's well, let me get my hand out of the way. It's a nice, definitely darker than Goldenrod. I give that more of a, I don't know what you call that. That's more leaning toward the brown shades, I think, than the yellows. And definitely darker than an orange. Oh, now we're talking. This is my wheelhouse drink. This is my wheelhouse. This is big fan of Springbank. dunnage warehouses. They do their own bottling. They do their own floor malting. Oh, it's funny because this reminds me so much of a really nice high-end Japanese whiskey. Very, even though there's delicateness to it, it's got power. It's some really nice marshmallow fruit, like bright fruit cocktail, the white grapes, the pears, really nice cherries. Oh, that's nice. Night and day difference with that last ram. Uh, Viscosity is okay. It's got some legs. They're about, I don't know, they're about that distant. They're running pretty quickly, but that's not a bad thing. It just means maybe not as heavy as a mouth coat. The cherries and strawberries and sweetness. Got some powdered sugar in there. Oh, it's glorious. Let me take a look at some notes here just to see if I'm off or am I on the mark here. I know it's the sherry goodness in there. It's helping a lot of that. Yeah, everyone else is getting the same kind of fruits, it looks like. Oh, my. Hibiki is what this reminds me of. Oh, looks like Santa Cruz is having some choy chick by Bunnahabhain. That's a good one. I actually got some of that still over there, matter of fact. That's another good one that's actually, I think, good for blends if you're going to blend it with something that's a sherry. Go with any kind of sherry deal. Rabbit says, I called first with the shop in D.C. with the Caol Ila Distillers Edition is right outside Metro Center on the Red Line. Ooh. Yeah, because you'll probably take it before I get there. That's okay, though. I wish you luck on trying to find it. Hopefully, if they sell it, they'll buy another one if it still is for sale, if it exists, hopefully. Tamar says he likes to mix it up, keep his palate on his toes. Yeah. Yeah, you can't drink the same thing, that's for sure. Richie's having a Springbank 12 cast strength. Excellent. That's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. I love to play around with the little drops of water with that just to get the right perfect what I want. Doesn't take too long. You don't have to play with it too long, but it's a nice one to have fun with. It's got a great taste. Oh, I can't get over the really nice fruit notes in this. Now it's kind of coming into some floral stuff too. Some celery maybe. I'm trying to think if there's any other herbal things going on there. Maybe a really faint peat, a faint smoke. All right, enough playing around with this. Let's have a little sip. Wow, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Wow, such a difference. That, my friends, not only has the same fruit I was referring to, has some really nice, like a gumdrop, light brown sugar, not dark, but light brown sugar. Maybe faint tobacco. A little bit of faint tobacco in there. Huh. Really nice sweetness. That leather is still there. It's funny because you can tell from the age it's not as prevalent as some of their younger stuff, but the Springbank trademark leathery goodness is still there too. Oh, that sherry is so nice. Damn, Prane, you find the best bottles, my friend. Oh, it's gonna make me cry. I'm gonna keep the rest of this for quite a while. That's for sure. Oh, Wow, nice mouth coat. It is on the medium. It's not heavy. It's medium. Um, little lighter, but the coat of the flavor, even though it's the not oily, it's still going. Nice caramel, but the lighter side. There's no molasses, no brown sugar. It's more of like a nice one of those caramel chew squares on the lighter end. Toffee, like a Heath toffee bar. A little bit of mocha chocolate. Hmm. Perhaps the wife should walk you up the stairs tonight. I'm not that far off. You're crazy. Wow. Rabbit's going to get a Springbank 10. Oh, excellent. That's one of my favorites. For a 10-year, probably one of the best 10 years I've ever had, really. Yeah, you do need to get that 12 cast strength, though. 10's great, but $70 for one. I think it was like 90 to $100. You can get the cast strength, the 12, and it's significantly better. Even though the 10 is good, it's even better than that. So, wow. Now I'm not toasty. I'm just enjoying this. I mean, Mom, you don't understand. This is a Springbank 24. It's a single sherry cask, Springbank 24. This is like I don't know what to equate it to, but you know, something glorious. Just think about that. I'm often astounded that a boy who grew up obsessed with Little Debbie snacks cakes is such a refined palate. Hey, don't knock the Little Debbie. I still have them, by the way, as you can tell from my girlish figure. But that's really good. I'm about to cut you off. Yeah, nothing wrong with Little Debbie. You tell him, Tom. You tell her. Matter of fact, tonight I had a moon pie actually too. I had a moon pie, and I had let's see, what's those? They're the Little Debbie, the Easter cakes. They're like zebra cakes, but they're Easter flavored. Those are awesome. Rabbit's asking Santa if he's had the Springbank 15. Ooh, now that's one I have to get, Rabbit. I do not have the 15. I have the 10, the 12 cast strength, the 12 burgundy, the 13 green, the 14 bourbon wood, the 19 port cask, really good. And I got one unopened. I haven't touched it yet. It's a Hazelburn. It's a Barolo cask, and it's a eight. I think it's an 8-year. No, I'm sorry, 9-year, 9-year Barolo cask. That's going to be a special deal there. Probably do that for maybe the next show or the show after. I'm trying to spread the wealth. I've been hanging out a lot in Campbelltown, so I'm trying not to do too much there. But it is a fun place to be. If I can't physically be there, at least I can drink it. Yeah, John says get the cast strength 12 first. It's a lot harder to get. 15 is really good to me too. Yeah, I'd say yeah. It all depends on um, your area though. Like for me, the 15 is harder to get than the cast strength 12. To me, the cast strength 12 is easier to get, but it's all depending on your geographic location. Because what's rare for one guy is easy to get another one. Another one like that is the old Pulteney stuff. To me, it's easy to get the 17 and 21 all day. For other people in different areas, it's they can't find it anywhere. So that tells you something right there. Richie says he's had the 15. It's very good. Yeah, it's on my wish list. Moon pie with a time to be alive. Tom's telling my mom you should try the Little Debbie flavored martini or peep flavored one. So, there you go. Oh my. This is glorious. This reminds me a lot of that Hibiki 21. It does. It might be a little bit better in my opinion because it does have that leathery Springbank goodness that I absolutely adore. No offense to Hibiki fans, um, but if you touch water with this, I'll come and find you. Do not put water on that. It does not need it. It's perfection. It is perfect. It's like drinking liquid gold. Oh my goodness, that is glorious. I think if I have one little last sip left, I'm gonna hang in there. Tom's asking if it with the moon pie flavor. It's chocolate. I like chocolate. Never was into the banana. Vanilla. I don't know if I've ever had one. Maybe always. It's usually chocolate, pretty much. FM Mom. See you later on. Glad you're doing well. Wow. This is good. We might have to pour a little more of this. I'm sorry, Preety. I told you I was going to save, but it's so good. I might have to have a little bit more, just a little bit. I'm trying to conserve, but I'm having fun with my buddies, you know. They did discontinue the Old Pulteney 21 Rabbit. The thing about Old Pulteney in Maryland, at least, it does not sell well in Maryland. I was told specifically by my favorite place I go to in Maryland to get my stuff. That's why they have so much of it. They have a lot of 17 and 21. So if you're interested, let me know, and I could probably find some for you, or help you find it or whatever. It's let me see the prices real fast. I can actually tell you what they sell it for. Give me 1 second here. I like this place so much. I got them to send me their sheet with all their prices on it, so I don't have to. This is February though. I need to get a new one for April. Let's see. They don't usually go up or down very much though, unless they're selling like hotcakes. Old Pulteney. Okay, so the Old Pulteney there, the 12 is only $45.99. The 17 is $122.99, and the 21 is $189.99. They have also the Navigator for $49.99. And they have a special bottle, and it's a little overpriced from what I hear, but it's the 1989 special edition for $275. So I almost pulled the trigger on that one time, but I had a buddy that told me it was probably a little overpriced. So maybe they'll have a sale on it sometime, and I'll snag it. But we'll see what happens. But it's a nice. The 17 is nice. I haven't had the 21 yet. It's on my radar though. I haven't been quick to pull the trigger, say, because they do have it there, and I'll probably have it for a while. So we'll see. Lots of Chicago, if you know where to look. Tom says, yeah. And the Old Pulteney 17 will be discontinued this year. Yeah, you're right, John. It is going out. 17 and 21 are going out. He prefers the 17 over the 21, especially for the price. Yeah, would love to an older OP. I think he means would love to have an older OP. Yeah, the 1989 looks really intriguing, but I think it's 24 year when I calculated the years, so it wasn't very much older than a 21. And for $275, that's a lot of money. I mean, you can get a independent bottle of Highland Park 25, believe it or not, for the same price. So, and it's cask strength. So, which would you rather have? There was an Old Pulteney 35 at Whiskey Fest in Chicago. Man, did you get to try that, Tom? I'm curious if they had let you guys have a sample of that, what you thought of it. Was it like mind blowing, or was it kind of like, well, it's good, but is it worth, I'm sure that one would sell for, gosh, I'm guessing up in the 700 to 1,000 range. Oh, try an old P, yeah. Richie asks, have you ever seen OP indie bottlings? I have, and I've actually had one that was good. At the last expo I was at, I had an Old Pulteney. I believe it was done by Gordon McPhail's. It was 21, and it was very well done. That is the 121 I actually have had. I had a 21, not the regular one yet, but the independent bottling I thought was well done. It was good. It was a hell of a lot better than a 12. I wasn't really that impressed with the 12, but I'm pretty picky. Um, to me, it was a little one-dimensional, but I like my drams to have either, not just peat or smoke. I like to have a little sweetness. I like to have a little brine. I like to have a little something else to balance all of it. If it's just, just briny, or if it's just peated, or if it's just smoky, or if it's just, whatever, I don't really get into it as much. But thankfully, you don't run into that very often, thankfully. But Tom says he went to Benny's event, not the super expensive Whiskey Fest the next day, so he didn't try. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were probably charging $500, $600 getting to that one. I bet they were giving out old Pulte 35. They haven't had a show like that around here. They have a nice one coming up. I'll be at in April doing a live show with my buddies Lee and Paul. If they agree to it, hopefully they will. I think I'll talk them into it. They're going to bring some nice bottles, and I'm bringing a Lafroig 2015. It's the Amontillado edition, Carriages. That's the one I'm going to bring. I'm going to bring a Marsala cask, Bunnahabhain 13, and I'm going to bring, there's like a bunch of bottles back here. I already got set ready to go. It's going to be a surprise. Hey, Drew. What's up, everyone from Eastern Caribbean? Hey, Drew, good to see you, my friend. Don't be too jealous. I'm only saying this because I know you're in St. Martin right now, you bastard. You're heading towards Puerto Rico. But having a Springbank 24 single sherry cask, 24-year-old, man. Can you believe that? It's a Maltman independent bottling, but it's very well done. Very, very well done. Kind of reminds me of a Japanese whiskey and a Beaky 21 kind of thing, but with a little bit of that leathery Springbank goodness that we all love. So, So I've been sipping on that on the side, having a little fun. Yeah, Drew had to rub it in on us. That's okay, though. Hopefully you do well. Don't get the norovirus, man. That stuff is nasty. That's why I don't go on cruises. That norovirus, man, it scares the hell out of me because I've had it a couple of times. It's not pleasant. Santa says they've had the HP 30 by me, but not the 25. Oh, interesting. I see the 25 and the 18 the most. 21 is kind of rare now. 30, I think I might have seen as well, possibly. I gotta think though. Haven't tried the 30. I have had the 25. It's fantastic. A little bit better than 18. I mean, for the price, I go for the 18 if I'm just buying it. But if I was a wealthy individual, I'd go for the 25. John's asking, no, I'm sorry. Rabbit's saying, do you prefer the Arbig 10 or the Lafroig 10? Ooh. Now, here's the deal, Rabbit. Now, I'm the biggest fanboy of Arbig you'll ever meet. The only dram I don't really like that much is their 10. I like everything else. I like the NO, the Corrievrecken, the Ugadal, the Aravertis. I'm about to try at some point soon. I've got a bottle over that's unopened. The Perpetuum's great. The Ardbog I absolutely adore. The Kelpie, the Dark Cove is my favorite bottle of all time. Their committee release is my favorite Scotch ever. The New Grooves is excellent. So, but if you're asking me to compare the Arbig 10 with the Lafroig 10, I'm going to pick the Lafroig 10, cast strength specifically though. But only because the Ardbeg 10 has lemon lime flavor in it. I'm not a fan of lemon lime. The Lafroig 10 is excellent. The cast strength I like because it's got the power. I can play around with a couple of drops. Everybody's happy with that deal. And the price is great. You can usually find even the basic Lafroig 10 is not that much. It's like $40-50, and the cast strength might be 50 to 60. So same price for the Arbig 10. I think it's around $45-50. But I would go for the Lafroig 10 for my personal taste. But that's only because I do not like lemon lime. Tom's asking if this 4 dummies are back to the regular schedule next week. I hope so. They probably are. Drew, a nice video from the boat. Yep. What's the ABV of the HP 30? I'll look it up for you. Actually, they should be on Distiller here. They're really good about having a really good database and finding things. So let's type in Highland Park 30. And oops, way too many numbers there. There we go. Well, I'm still not able to type for some reason. There we go. 30 year. Here we go. Great review. It gets a 97 on their scale out of 100, which is pretty damn perfect. It's 48.1 on the 30-year Highland Park. Unlike the 25, which ages half of its whiskey in first fill ex-sherry cask, the 30-year is aged entirely in refill ex-sherry casks so as to not overwhelm the classic Highland Park signature. So there you go. I bet that's damn tasty. I've had the 25, but if anyone's got the 30 out there and is willing to share, I am all ears because I would be real happy. Their notes is that it's wise to take your time with the dram of its nature, honey dotted with salt crystals, raspberry and cream, ethereal wisps of peat smoke. These are a few images that come to mind simply inhaling the whiskey. As you taste, you'll find lively whiskey with more chocolate barrels of spice than juicy fruit, with a continued haze of smoke on your palate. Sounds pretty damn good to me. That's just the reviewer from Distiller giving her take on it. Stephanie Moreno, she does a lot of drams, and she's usually pretty good about picking out notes, but I don't always find the same things she does. She finds things that I'm like, what? And she probably reads mine and is thinking, what, how do you find this? So it's all subjective on that deal usually, but I'm sure the quality is great. Donald's asked me to drink from the bottle. I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna get there quite yet. Laura is amazing, though. Yeah, I'm glad I got that to you guys. I'm glad you guys had a chance to take a part of that. I'm sure you would have got to it eventually, but with all the things you guys look for outside of Isla and Campbelltown, I'm sure it was easier just to pick it up and say, "Oh, let's try this one." But yeah, the only thing about the lore I wish that they had was an age on it. That would be so much better. But I'm sure it's hard when they probably throw some young stuff in there to make it lively with the peat. But you can tell there's some old, nice sherry goodness in there, probably up to even 30 year out here. But it's such a blend that it's kind of, I don't know. I'd love to try their 18. I've had their 15, which is glorious. I've never had their 18 or their 27 or 32, but it's on my bucket list. It's way too expensive, but we'll see what happens. Santa Cruz says, Dylan don't endorse stuff like that. Uh-oh, what's Daniel doing? Where's Daniel? I don't even see a Daniel in here. Who's he speaking to? Oh, maybe Throttle is Daniel. Oh, that's who, I think that's who Daniel is Throttle. Okay. This is made up legend. I wish they would do the Helen Park 18 with a higher ABV. Yeah, I think it's what, 46, something like that right now. If it's not 48, 48 would be ideal for me. 51 be perfection. 51, I think, is my new sweet spot. 48 is pretty damn good, but 51, you can add a couple of drops and play around with it a little bit. Good seeing you all. Thanks, Drew, he says. Good to see you, man. Hope you're having a good fun time. Don't get sick down there, and looking forward to seeing you guys back in the saddle maybe next week if you get a chance. If not, then I'll gladly take your time slot for you. Rabbit says, totally agree. John Post, I found that 18 to be kind of muted. I prefer the 12. What? Rabbit, are you crazy? You prefer the Highland Park 12 over the 18? That can't be right. Is that true? To each his own, but if you have a bottle of 18 you don't want to drink, I'll be glad to take it from you anytime. That's one of my favorites, and I do not really like the 12 that much. So I'm surprised to hear that from you, but I'm sure there's like elements of the 12 that you really get into. There's like a lot of heather, a lot of floral notes I don't really appreciate maybe as much in 12, but with the 18, it's such a real strong flavor. Really into that one. I love the 18. Santa Cruz says, have you seen a limited edition Highland Park cask strength 12 and 15-year-old scotches? I have not seen that. That would be nice. Wow. Are those Santa Cruz, are those independent bottlings or those distillery bottlings? I'm just curious. Tom says he's got an HP cask strength 20 by Fat Dream. Needless to say, it's great. I bet it is. I might have to pick up that 20. It's either 22 or 25. It's an exclusive malt cask strength Holland Park. I'm gonna have to pick that one up. I think at some point. It's $275 though. It's a little pricey. John says to Santa, no, I haven't seen them. We have a limited selection. I've had a hard time ordering one too. Yeah. These new laws are just killing me here in Maryland. I'm gonna have to find a friend in Virginia to help out on getting some sauce or something, trade. I don't know, figure out something. How does the Lefroy Glory compare to the Dark Cove? Personally, I adore the Ardbeg Dark Cove. Like on my scale, and this isn't everybody, if you're more of a peat, straightforward peat fan, you're going to love the lore above the Dark Cove. But if you like me, like a little sweetness sherry with your peat, it's more like this. This is the lore. This is the Dark Cove. It's like so much better to me. I'm a huge, huge fan, especially the committee release if you can find it. But even if you can't, the limited release is still damn good, and I would still pick it up for $120, $150 every day. No questions asked. Easy peasy. John says to Tom, I really enjoy the higher ABV, and me too. Santa asked Throttle, do you have more than me? Don't worry. All about the higher ABV, more alcohol, more flavor. Yeah. In a lot of ways, it's true. This Caol Ila, though, it wasn't so much the case unless you're really into the floral stuff. 55.9 you would think would be badass on flavor, but just didn't bring it for me. But it's got a lot of floral stuff in there that I probably am not picking out as well as some people that love the floral stuff can, So I love to see someone else that does like a lot of the different, like knows their lilacs from their goldenrods, from their sandalwood, from all that stuff. They can pick out all that. They might really get into that. So Rabbit says that Highland Park 12 is peatier than the 18, which I enjoy. I'll give you that. You're right. But the weird thing is when I went from I started in Isla. So my first dram was like Isla Smokehead. I had a Lefroy 10, a Lagavulin 116. And then I tried the Highland Park 12. And to me, the peat was almost non-existent. It was kind of weird. Maybe that's why I didn't get into it as much. But see, I like Highland Park for their balance of floral, herbal, sweetness, smokiness. Like they're kind of like, to me, like the best conglomerate of all flavors combined. That's what I love about the 18. But yeah, you're right. If I'm going for peat, I'm sure I'd get a lot more out of the 12 than the 18 any day. It's just so funny that you mentioned that because I remember going into a really nice restaurant and thinking, what do they have? It's something I'm going to even enjoy. They didn't have anything from Isla or Campbelltown. And I thought, well, I have a Highland Park. It can't be that bad. I'll try the 12. It was the first one I ever tried, and it's kind of like, but it wasn't in a Glencairn. It was in a tumbler, so that might have really, sometimes the glass can really help your experience. So I might have to go get me another bottle of 12. I've got if you look back here somewhere, but it's way up there. You can't see it. I got a 15 and 18. The old school bottling. I gotta find an old school 12. I like the new ones, but I want to get the old ones before I get the new ones on the Highland Park bottle series. So we'll see how that goes later. Let's see where we are in the comments here. I just ordered from Abbey Whiskey, and the shipper will not deliver to me. I called, and they said they could deliver to his distributor. So I get my money back. Yeah, you'll get your money back, I'm sure. Just if you order with a credit card, which I'm sure you probably did, give it give it like 3 or 4 days. It should, like if it's a pending charge, it should disappear. If it doesn't, and especially if you do see it going into posted transactions, just call your credit card company and they'll dispute it for you. They're really good about that. That's one of the actually good things about using a credit card is it's easier to dispute stuff like that happens. That's a shame, though. Yeah, these laws are just killing me with not shipping to certain states. The only 10 states they ship to are states where there's nobody at. Wyoming, North Dakota. I mean, come on. Nothing against people that live out there, but why in Virginia they'll ship to, in DC, and California, New York. There's like 10 states out of the 50. I'm like, why are you only going to pick, almost cherry pick 10 states to deliver to? Our state laws, I guess, is what's killing us. I gotta find out how to dispute this. It's driving me crazy. Tamara says the Caol Ila is a high ABV. Give it a month in a bottle to open up a bit. Yeah, okay. You're right. Oxidation does help out on some of these, and maybe this is just one that needs to sit open for a while. And the guy did say on his review that he let it open up for half hour, which to me is a little long. Reminds me of that Glendronach port peated that we tried that took 45 minutes to open. It's like, my God, I ain't got all day to want to drink it. I don't want to, like, look at it. But it's good to know up front. So maybe I'll get one of those dragon glass decanters, pour it in, let it sit out for an hour, and then come back and have a go at it. That's a good idea, Tom. I appreciate it on that. Santa's asked if I'm on Instagram. I do not use Instagram yet, but I thought about it. The thing about it, the reason I don't use Instagram very much is I don't take a lot of pictures, actually. I could, but it's I don't have a knack for it just yet. I have a decent camera. At some point I did. I don't think it's decent anymore. It's very old. But I might play around with a couple pictures and see what comes out. But it's hard enough to keep up with. I'm already on Twitter, hardcore. That's Telex the Whisky Tech on Twitter, Distiller, and on YouTube, of course, and on Facebook already. So that's 4 platforms I'm trying to keep up with, and I've been neglecting my Facebook page for quite a while. So it's kind of hard to keep up with all those 4, more or less. Anything adding a 5th would be kind of tough. But Johnson's having a Glen Scotia 15, and I love it. Lightly peated, very sweet. That's one of my favorites, John. I adore Glen Scotia 15. I have a buddy named Chris, goes by Everwind. You see him on the boards here. And he introduced me to Glen Scotia 15. He told me, he's like, "You will not be disappointed if you give this a try." And he gave me a sample. And I'm like, yeah, I got to get myself a bottle of that. So it's very well priced, too, for what you're getting for a 15-year. And it's got some, to me, I found some grape cola. John, tell me if you get grape cola out of either the finish of that or the palate. As I swear to God, it's got a great, fantastic, sweet grape cola almost effect to it. Almost like those Pop Rocks candies without the explosion in your mouth. Just the I won't say texture, but the smoothness and the grape flavor. It's weird. It's really good, though, I think. Rabbit says, "Will you be with you there, Telex Helen Park is the Scotch Gambler in 1 bottle?" Yeah, that's what I love about the 15 and the 18. 15 is a great price point. It's a shame they're discontinuing that. You'll not see the Helen Park 15 or 18 probably that much longer either, which is really sad. All these distilleries are running out of product, and it's just, or they also know that they can sell their NASs for a lot of money, and it's kind of like Richie asked if I'll be reviewing the Helen Park full volume at some point. Yes. Am I excited about it? No, because I've had the Valkyrie, the Dark Origins, and I was not impressed. Hate to say it. The Magnus is a good daily sipper, great price, $35-40. I would much rather have that than a Johnny Walker Black. The Helen Park Magnus I can get behind, but the Valkyrie, the Dark Origins, I'd rather have the 15 any day. And I know that's what they're trying to replace it with, but it's just, to me, it's just not there. But we'll see what happens. Maybe, I've heard mixed reviews on the full volume. That's another reason I'm kind of not too excited about trying it, but we'll see. I'm not going to judge until I actually taste, because, some people told me there's certain things I would love and I didn't like, and vice versa. So you know how that goes. Good night, Tom. Thanks for sticking by me, and hope to see you again soon. I've been fighting a lot of allergies lately, guys, so I might sound a little sinusy. Sorry about that, but uh, it comes with the territory. And in April, I'm always sick in the first like couple weeks of April. I can't. I'm taking prescription grade xylitol, and I still can't get around it. It's crazy. Um, Rabbit says if you work in DC, we should chat about getting you stuff online. I'd be happy to have your orders. Oh, cool. All right, I'm gonna definitely take you up on that, Rabbit. If you don't mind, Rabbit, send me an email so I got it from you. I know you go by on the Moors, I think sometimes on other sites I've seen, maybe on Reddit or something. My email address is Telex. That's Tango Echo Lima Echo X-ray TELEX at outlook.com. So send me an email and just let me know a good way to contact you, and definitely hang out, shoot the chat, and share some samples sometime. I'm all about that too. Maybe even have you stop by if you're ever in the Severna Park area sometime, or if you don't mind driving out. Got a whole bowl of stuff here of heels that I've been waiting to share it with people that actually appreciate the whiskey that I've got. It's hard to find people like that, so that's always open as an option as well. Later, Tom. Santa Cruz says good stuff. The high volume. Santa Cruz likes it. Santa, what are some of the notes you got from it that you liked? Were there any notes that you didn't like? I'm just curious. John says I get cola aftertaste, but not grape. It's very nice. My favorites as well. That's cool. Yeah, at least you got the cola piece. I guess I was getting some sort of real sweet grape combined with a cola, and that's what made me think of like grape soda kind of thing. That was like the big note that will be memorable of that dram for me forever. I've never had a glass like that before. I cannot wait to get my own bottle of Glen Scotia 15. Now, if you're interested in trying older versions of Glen Scotia, I've heard that they could be a disappointment, but don't take my word for it. Of course, some things are subjective, but I have heard that their 15 is a showstopper, always great, consistent, great bottle. 18 and above, just be wary. Maybe try it in an expo if you get a chance before you shell out the money to make sure that you're really into it. I've heard different stories on that deal. John says he haven't bought Ardbeg due to them being mostly NAS and expensive. Not sure what to try. Oh, John, don't be scared of any Ardbeg NAS. I know NAS scares people. I do not like a lot of the Highland Park NASs, and I have had a Bunnahabhain NAS called a Kjalvanach that I wasn't really into. I'm sure there's other ones here that I could go into, but Ardbegs, the NASs are fantastic. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. Because just because, like the Ardbeg, for example, is maybe technically an NAS, it's at least, I know, at least 12 years old. There is no way that it's younger than 12 years per what they actually state, what's in the stuff and the juice on the bottle or on some of the sites you can find. So even though they don't come out and say, this is a 12-year whiskey, you're not going to be blindsided. I would start with the Ardbeg Uigeadail. You cannot go wrong. It's not too hot, not too peppery like a Corryvreckan might be for you. The Corryvreckan's also thick. It's more of a syrupy kind of a thing. Uigeadail is a nice smoked, peated, middle of the road offering from Islay that I've never met anyone that did not like the Uigeadail. I'm just going to say that. Some of the other ones, the NO is kind of a mixed bag. If you like sweet, if you like mint, you might like the NO. If you're not into peppermint sweetness, don't stay away from it. Lemon lime on the 10. If you like lemon lime flavor, you like peat, go for the 10. But other than that, all the NASs, I haven't had a bad one, to be honest with you, and that's why they're pretty much my favorite distillery. So please don't be too afraid to take a try, I would say. But if you do go for the Corryvreckan, be mindful that it's a lot like a Talisker, which is a peppery dram. So that's the deal with that guy. Santa Cruz says, John, have you tried the Oogie or Corryvreckan? It's great stuff. It's true. Looking to get the Uigeadail. Yeah, definitely get the Uigeadail. I would start with that. Rabbit's got the email address. Cheers. Thank you. hard to explain, but if you could tell it's quality stuff, my allergies ruin my nose. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, allergies are tough to deal with. But hey, Mark, good to see you. What's with the whiskey taking into tonight? Literally sipping some Oogie right now. Oh, see, Mark Rhoda can vouch that you can't go wrong with the Ugadal. You just can't go wrong with it. Mark, earlier we tried the Caol Ila 17 Unpeated. It was not really what I was looking for. I gave it a 2.75 out of 5. I do think it would be great for either A, blending your own blends with like a PX or Oloroso, a sherry, or maybe even a smoky Ugadal, something like that with it. But out of the box, not my cup of tea. I'll put some notes on Distiller too after the fact, and take a rewind and watch the show, Mark, when you get a chance. Also, Mark, we did a Springbank 24 Single Sherry Cask. Excellent. It's up there, even better than a Hibiki 21. It's got all the same kind of marshmallow fruit cocktail notes, sweet light brown sugar, really nice palate, some toffee, vanilla, and that trademark leathery Springbank goodness that we all love from the Dunnage Warehouse. Excellent. 5. I'm gonna have to do this. There's peat, there's smoke, there's everything in this. I think I might have to give it a 5, 4.75 at least, if not a 5. I'll have to think about it. One thing we haven't done yet, we might have to put a little water on it. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, it's 24. Sorry, man. Just a little bit. We're going to put a little couple drops just to see. Yeah, John, you're not going to be disappointed. If you do think that the Ugadal is too rough for you, if you're kind of out of the gate and you're like, ooh, this is a little too forward, guys, go for something a little more mild, like a Lagavulin 16, maybe. Oh, geez. Trying to think of another good one that's out of the gate, lightly, I'd say medium peat. Lefroy 10 cast strength. Anything out of Campbelltown's, I'd say moderately peated. It's not much, but it's enough to notice. Let's put a little water on this guy before I drink it all. I just want to see if it opens up even more. I mean, it's already 4.75. I can't imagine it getting any better. Out of the gate, it's 48 point. Let's see, what is this guy? I still got my notes for Highland Park 30 up here. This one was 47.1, so pretty perfect. I hate to put any water on it, but just to be fair. John wasn't a fan at first. Hard to say no to them now. Yeah. Yeah, Pete's got some people like myself, I love it right out of the gate, fell in love right off, love at first sight, can't look back, have to have some Pete pretty much in at least a little bit. But some people, they have to really ease themselves into it. John's tried a couple Ben Romick bottles. Like Ben Romick is a good example of, like, I've had the Pete Smoke 2006, I think it's called. Some people like it a lot, some people not so much. If you're already into Isla Pete, you might not be as impressed by it. I thought it was good, though. I like that bottle. Same thing with, oh yeah, the only somewhat heavy peat I have is the Marqueur Bay. It was okay, better after I had it a couple times. Yeah. The Lot Gorm, I would try, John. It's going to be a little more smoke, a little more balanced, I think, John. Go for the Kilholman Loch Gorm. You won't, I think, be disappointed. The Seneg is also good if you like a little sherry with your peat. If you don't like the heavy smoke as much and you want more of a sherry with some peat in it, reminiscent of a Lagavulin 16, the purple bottle back there, that Kilholman Seneg, is what I would go for. That's really good. All roads do lead to Isla. That's true. John says, oh, yeah. And Mark, great job talking with the Wolfburn guy. I got to see, I think, a good number, like 75% of it at least. And good questions and a lot of good information, and I'm eager to try. I haven't had a wolf burn yet. I'm definitely gonna not be too afraid to give them a try, even for 3 years. Age is not everything when it comes to some of the stuff. It's just also about casks and the environment, the temperature, what you're using, and all that good stuff. So John says he's tried to order the panoramic 10 100 proof, but they refuse to deliver it today. Jeez, man. No one's delivering any goodness. It's sad. We got to get these laws changed. Got to. We have the lot quorum. Just haven't opened it yet, Mark. Oh, you got to open that, man. I'm surprised you have you, Mark. Which Kilhoman offerings have the four dummies reviewed already? Can you remember? Hate to put you on the spot. I'm just curious if you guys have done any other stuff yet. I think you did the Marqueur Bay. I think that might be the only one though, but I can't remember. Really good stuff. You can't go wrong with any of their things. I'm not a big fan of the 100% Isla, but that's only because I'm not big into the floral notes. But everything else I've had by them is spot on perfect. It's excellent. John says, "Were we the one living in the States or Canada?" Oh, Washington State. So basically Canada. Montclair Bay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you guys definitely, I think, will like the Lot Gorham, especially Andrew, a lot more. The Seneg, I think Drew, Mark, and Sean will like a lot. I'm not sure if Andrew will be into it as much because it's got some sherry balance in there, but the Seneg is really, really damn good. And if you ever get a chance, see that red bottle right there, the red cask matured, you got to get your hands on one. It's that good. It's a 4.75 out of 5. It's really close to being pretty damn perfect, I have to say. I don't know, but we'll see if you guys get a chance to hopefully get some of that and do a try. Oh, man, I've been pouring more and more of this as it goes on. I'm going to end up drinking it all. Hard to say no to a Springbank 24, though, especially a single sherry cask. That's just like icing on the cake. The water didn't damage the goods. Still nice, powerful, great sweetness. A little bit of smoke still there. Maybe not the leather, not so much, but still easy drinking for 47%. I mean, wow. Nice cherry cordial finish. Medium length. Could it be longer? Yeah. That's the only thing I could knock it for. I'm going to say 4.75 out of 5 for this Springbank 24. I'm going to say only because the finish I just wish was a little longer. And I think it's because it is so old and so delicate. It's got great flavor out of the gate, but man, you better enjoy it while it's there because you're like sipping so fast and just in, it's just gone so fast. But well, guys, I'm gonna have to shut her off here. It's been fun, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. Mark, I did ask you if you guys minded me starting at 10, but no one answered. So I thought, well, I'll wait. I waited until about 10:30 or so, and started the old the show up. So hope I didn't step on anybody's toes. I was trying to check with Mark if Mike was going to be doing a show tonight because he kind of hinted that he might, but nothing was concrete. So put it up to the camera. Which one? You want to see the Springbank one? This is the sample bottle I got. And the other one is this guy here, the Caol Ila 17 Unpeated, which, will be used for blends, I have a feeling. And for people that, might keep it for a while to offer people that more like a floral deal. Glad you did it. No worries, buddy. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, hopefully you guys will show you the bottle of the Seneg or which bottle? You probably want to see the snake. Well, I'll just bring both of them over here. The two that you're looking for, this is the red wine matured cask. I would definitely look for that one. Very, very well done. It's got this special Douro Valley from Portugal. A very nice red wine cask. If you like red wine, you don't mind your peat barbecue being mixed with that, you're going to adore that. The other really good one to try is the Kilhoman Sine. And this was the one that's got that slight sherry, still has the peat. It's kind of a nice mix. I would equate this more to like a Lagavulin Distiller's Edition kind of glass. It's one of my favorites. Swami does not like this one as much. He's, I think, more of a peat purist. I like my peat to be, you know, have a little something with it to be balanced out. That's just me. So, cheers, Rabbit. What's wrong? Why are you saying damn it there, Mark? I'm just curious what the problem is. John says Santa Cruz, our Total Wine is a small market too. Yeah, they got Total Wines everywhere. It seems like, and they're kind of small. 2 more bottles to find. Yeah. Oh, this is just the tip of the iceberg, my friend. Kilhoma's got a vintage 2009 here. I'm gonna get. They've got an exclusive bottling here in Maryland from a whiskey. It's called like the Whiskey Tavern or something. It's some sort of specialized bottle they got. And it's this distillery bottle, so that'll be fun to do. They've got a Santiago Bay. They've got and that's a hard to find one. They have the Cool Point Travel Retail exclusive. That one I'd love to try too. They're about to release their first 10-year, from what I saw. I know they have their original cask strength as well. I'd like to get. I have had that at a bar. It was excellent. Really, really well done. Peanut brittle, cashews, a lot of really good hazelnuts, and just real nice balance of sweet and nuttiness. Kilhoman has got a bunch. You guys have to try, man. Not just 2 more bottles. I'm talking like 10 more bottles to find. So sorry, but not sorry. It's worth the journey. Believe me. Let's see, that's 3 here. I've had the Marqueur Bay. I have had that original cask strength, and I think I had a couple others. So I mean, I probably had 6 or 7 of their offerings, and they're all good. All of them are good. I haven't had a bad one yet. Well, so much about it, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you guys soon. And thanks for hanging out. And if you can, please subscribe, share with your buddies. If you know anyone that's looking to get in the Scotch, please have them drop by the channel. See you guys on Twitter, on distiller.com, and everywhere else possible.